This is a beginner's guide to using the GAF Ancovision 488 film projector. You can use this for both 8mm and Super 8. To open it up, tip it over, push in here, and you should be able to lift it up and off. On the inside, you may have a brush for cleaning. You may have this adapter, which is important, and the pickup reel. Take the pickup reel off just by pulling it, and slide the pickup reel off. The adapter you'll need for certain types of film. The first thing you're going to do is put the take-up reel on. It goes on the left side. There is a little notch here that has to fit into this. So this side will obviously face this way. And I'm going to slide it on here. And it might take you a second to get it on. You have to make sure it's on all the way. This is a close-up of that notch that has to fit into one of these notches. It's a little tricky. They make it just the size of the thing, so you got to get it just right. Okay? You might think it's on, but there's supposed to be a silver kind of ball showing here, so I don't have it on right. You may be able to see that I don't have those notches lined up, so now I do, and I can push, and now it's flush with that. The other indication that you have it on correctly is if the silver pin, it's kind of almost like, looks like a silver ball is showing, that keeps it in place. If you can't see that, you don't have it in far enough. Getting ready to put the film on, but I may need to trim the lead here. This one is actually fine, but just to show you how it works, to trim it, we're going to use this right on the foot of the projector. To trim the film, you're going to put it underneath here. You want to trim it between those little sprocket holes. But I'm going to put it in here. There's a bit of a track there that I'm going to put it in between, slide it underneath. And once I have it in between the hole, I'll just click down. It's kind of a curved front end, and it seems like you need that for this particular projector. The film initially had a straight edge, and I had to trim it to get this slight circular shape. So the first thing to determine is whether you have a Super 8 or an 8mm film. If you're lucky, it says on the box which one it is. I'm going to be playing Football Follies, which clearly says that it's Super 8. So I need to change it to Super 8. So first of all, this button. Right now it's set at Standard, which is 8mm, so I'm going to click it over this way to Super 8. This is the adjustment for Standard 8, regular 8mm. Push it back for Super 8. Here's my film, and if I put it on, you can see it's too big. It moves around. That's where that adapter comes in. Gonna take the adapter, and all I really have to do is push it on there. And that should be good to go. So to put the film on, I want the film hanging down on this side. So not like that. There is, again, kind of a little sprocket there, a little pin. It has to fit into here. So now when I put this on, it should slide on nice and tight. This is a self-loading film. So if it's working correctly, it should work pretty easy. I'm going to go underneath the peg, and I'm just going to stick it in here where it says Insert Film. And it should take it up. After it takes it up, it should loop it through, and it should automatically catch on this reel if everything is working correctly. The controls are relatively self-explanatory. When I put the film in, I will then turn it to forward. Still will stop it on one image. Reverse will make it go backwards. Fast forward is if you want to go quickly through a film, and then rewind when you actually want to rewind the film when you're done watching it. The stop feature just temporarily stops the machine. If you want to turn it off, including the lamp and the machine, you turn it to the off position. But one thing I had the most difficulty with was actually getting this thing into the right position. I would think I was on forward, but I wasn't. I would think I was on still, but I wasn't. You'll see that in the demo ahead, that sometimes it took me 1 or 2 turns to actually get it into reverse, for instance. To start the process, I'm going to go underneath here, and I'm going to put in about 1 to 2 inches into this slot. So there's about 1 inch and 2 inches. It doesn't stop, so I don't feel like I've hit bottom, but it's in there. And now when I turn it to forward, it should feed through and be caught up on this. So let's watch what happens. So there, I almost turned it wrong. So it's starting to go in. You're gonna see it come out over here. So there it caught. I'm going to turn this on in a minute. You're going to see that the image is really small because I have it so close to the screen. You generally would be back 5-10 feet or more. The further back it is, the bigger the image is. So I'm going to go to forward. And so you can kind of see there. If it's not in focus, I'm going to press this lever. This is the focus. So here's an adjustment you can make if you see a black line where you can see almost 2 frames. This button here, if I turn it one way or the other, you can see that's making it worse. And now there it is. So again, one way or the other, I can turn that until I get it to be 1 frame. This is the control to get rid of that black bar in the middle of the picture. I can adjust to make this go up. This leg here can go down, so I can make it go high, the image go higher if I want to. I can make it still. See there, I went too far. It's not working. So there, so you can see I tried to turn that 3 times before I got it to still. And now by pressing this, I can actually go frame by frame. It's kind of painful to be honest with you, but it is moving through frame by frame. I don't know why you would do it, quite frankly. This is what you would use to move frame by frame. I'm gonna go to back to forward. Whoops. And you can see my difficulty getting through it. Once I gotta adjust that black line. I'm gonna go to reverse. Oops. See, I went to stop, I went too far. So you can see it going backwards, the frame is off again. But the guys are running backwards, if you can see that. I can stop it over here. I can fast forward with the light off, stop. So that helps you go through something much quicker. And then I can rewind. If I'm done with the film and I want to be done with it, I can rewind it. Again, I gotta get that right so it's going through pretty quickly. And turn it off. I'm almost done watching the film. Here goes the rest of the film. Typically it'll go all the way through and it'll start spinning relatively quickly, so I'll just turn it off. When you're done with the film, you do want to rewind it back onto the original reel. This is a special pickup reel, so you want to use this only to pick it up and then rewind it back. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to go through here, and there's a little cut. There's 2 of them, but here's one that's going to be easier for me to access. I'm going to put it in there, and then I'm going to turn this, holding the film a couple of times, at least 2, maybe 3, because if I do it too soon, it'll just pull out. So now I've done that about 2 or 3 times, and I'm going to go to rewind. So again, this is in rewind, not reverse. Be ready to stop it when it finishes up, and it will make that crazy little noise. When you're done, simply pull the film off, and again, just with a nice, steady, firm pressure, pull that off. Here's some troubleshooting if the film doesn't load correctly on the pickup reel. This is a take-up adjustment lever. You can use this to try to get the film to come out on this side of the hub. If it comes out on this side, you're going to push it down. If it happens to come out too far this way and won't attach, you can make it go up. Forward. The film will come out here in a minute, and we're going to see where it goes. I don't know if you saw that, but it was going over here. So what I can do now is push this lever down maybe 1 or 2 clicks. See what happens. And there it just caught. So now it's successfully threaded. Just a close-up of what you saw with the projector off. Here's the film coming up on this side of the hub. It's supposed to come up over here. So that's when I would rewind it and push this down, and it should come up over here. If the opposite happens, if you have, if it comes up way over here and it never hits the hub, so if it's coming up way over here and it never hits the hub, that's when you could push this lever up. So that allows you to adjust it. There's a tab here and one underneath, so you're going to hold both and kind of give them a squeeze. So if there's a lot of dirt, you can potentially use that brush to clean the mirror and the lens, which is hidden right in there. If you've taken this cover off, or if it's off and there's this little unevenness here, that's not good. You need to have that all the way in. This has basically got to be flush. Okay, this has to be even with this. So if it's not, make sure you push it in. I was lucky enough when I got this to have a working projector and a working lamp. If you need to replace a lamp or try to fix one of the belts because the motor's not working, you would unscrew this thumb screw to the left, and then you should be able to just lift this up and off the pins. You're going to see your bulb, and you're going to see some of your belts. To replace the back cover, there's these 2 pins up here. And there's small holes, so put those pins on first. And then for the back cover, you're gonna tighten back up that thumb screw. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider subscribing just to help out, or even just a thumbs up. Remember, a thumbs up never hurt nobody.